All right, so let's just settle into our meditation posture. Next time I open my eyes, there'll be a couple more people, I bet. Anyway. So if you are sitting with your feet down, just remember to have them in a parallel position and maybe a cushion or something underneath them just to raise them up a bit. And if you're sitting in the regular cross-legged position, make sure you're on something firm. And with your sit bones raised slightly, this straightens your sacrum. And the shoulders are over the hips. And when I say ears over just aligned with the shoulders, it's just a very gentle sort of like lengthening and aligning. So you're not kind of shoving your head back in order to put it in line with the shoulders. You kind of want to do this gently. Just think in your mind the idea of, rather than poking our head forward with our chin, which is what a lot of us do. And apparently my chiropractor told me that it's very bad for the brain for us to develop a hunched over back and for the head to be constantly tipping, hunched over, the jaw sticking out. It's really much, much better for our brains and a functioning of our mind, for everything to be nicely aligned. So we can practice here, hands in the meditation mudra, thumbs touching lightly and the right hand nestled in the left. You can imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light. And these light pearls are stretching all the way up through your body, through the crown of your head, and perhaps somebody is there above or behind, very gently lengthening your spine. Imagine your head, the crown of your head is reaching towards the ceiling. Your head is slightly tipped forward. This is just to lengthen that area around the occipital bone. And also it releases tension there. So they say that if your head is tipped too far back, it creates agitation in the mind. If your head is too far forward, you're falling asleep. So just somewhere nicely balanced in the middle. Eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose. So if your eyes were open, they'd be looking at a spot a couple of inches ahead of you. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth and relax the jaw. And let's just draw our attention to the crown of the head and relax the scalp. All those muscles, all that tension we hold in our head, in our scalp, in our forehead, in our temples, in our nose and cheeks. Just relax everything. And bring your awareness to the back of the head. Relax the scalp there. And then just notice immediately what else is relaxing. You might notice those muscles at the back of the head, occipital bone, your jaw, your temples. And relax the back of the neck and the shoulders, upper thoracic area. And the front of your throat, the chest, belly. And the arms, the hands, the fingers, the legs, the feet and the toes. Welcome, Lorraine. And let's just bring to mind all the people of our life and your loved ones, the ones who take care of you, the ones who care about you, the ones you love, the ones you like, the ones you tell your private things to, who you trust. And there's the ones you like to keep at an arm's distance. Perhaps you don't trust them, perhaps they've actively harmed you, you label them as enemy, or they're not in your inner circle, your camp. And then there's the strangers you don't think twice about, but just continually reminding ourselves that we are all equal. We are even equal with the President of the United States in our wish to avoid suffering, our wish to be happy, our wish to constantly search for happiness and never quite find it. Constantly avoiding suffering, always running into it. And everybody has this unbelievable capacity for compassion and wisdom and kindness, even the ones we don't like, even the ones that seem to be committing evil deeds, harming others. They too do actually have this capacity, unbelievable gift of enlightenment. So bring all those people to mind. I think I'm going to do this meditation this evening, Vajrasattva, for all of their sake, and for our sake, for our own self, as we move along the path to our enlightenment, slowly, slowly, humbly, bit by bit. So just bring the mind to the breath for a moment. Just notice the sensation of the cool air as you're breathing in, slightly warmer air as you're breathing out. If there's any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to follow them, push them away, or investigate. And just notice the thoughts that are arising in the mind, the feelings, emotions. So just allow them to arise, to abide, run their course, and disappear. So try not to engage with the thoughts that are arising. Just allow them, leave them be. And bring the mind to the breath. So the first of the four opponent powers is regret. This very mature, responsible attitude towards things that we've done that have harmed others. Just an acceptance of what we've done. And the reason to regret, the main reason to regret, is based on this logic of karma. Having harmed others, we will eventually experience suffering in the future. And given that we don't want to suffer any more than we have to, it makes sense, therefore, to pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen. So maybe think of something that happened today or yesterday, this week, that perhaps you regret. Maybe you harmed someone, maybe you said something. And think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering, and also regret all our delusions, the anger, the attachment, and the rest of the cause of the why we harm others. And again, think, I'm really sick of this suffering, and so what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and the first part of this section is called refuge. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor who has the message that we can use to purify. And it's not that we are needing Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves, we're healing ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine Vajrasattva is above the crown of your head, And you can also think of Vajrasattva as being your guru, or your lama, your teacher, your trusted mentor, manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. And he's made, imagine, of this blissful, radiant white light. He's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus, in the full lotus position, and he's got this radiant, beautiful, youthful face and long lotus-like eyes, which are peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all the people of your life. He has this sweet red mouth, and his hair is black and held up in a top knot. He's wearing the 5-pointed crown, and it's just covered in jewels and sparkling. He's wearing earrings and necklaces and armlets and bracelets, and he's wearing jewelry around his ankles. It's all kind of sparkling. There's probably a jewelry belt around his waist. And then you can imagine he's wearing these silken robes in the Royal Indian style. It's just sort of floating there above you. It's just a very beautiful image. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and there being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I am enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So here we come to compassion. In order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us. So think first of all of people you have harmed recently, maybe, and then perhaps in the past, and then in general, all beings we have harmed since the beginning of this time. You just kind of generate a wish in your heart for them to not suffer. And then for the people who've harmed you, have compassion for them because they are going to suffer as a result of the harm that they've done to you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and just think, I must purify for their sake. So here is the power of the remedy. And this is the actual medicine of doing the practice, this kind of mantra counting. So here we, first of all, we purify the body. And Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar. You can imagine it's like standing under a very, very powerful shower, some kind of jet stream of water, or Niagara Falls, but just kind of like a forceful stream of nectar pouring from his heart, arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you and forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think that there's nothing else you could do other than be of benefit to others now with your body. How amazing. So the next is a purification of the speech. And again, powerful nectar pouring from Guru Vajrasattva's heart, forcefully entering your crown, entering your whole body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech, talking about others behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you, and you're lying. All this kind of like negative things we do with our speech. It's sort of all this negativity just floats up to the top, pours out of the top of you, disappears into space as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than be of benefit now to others with your speech. So every single word that falls out of your mouth comes from wisdom and compassion and kindness, and is beneficial for others to hear. How amazing would that be? And the next is a purification of the mind. So Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately now sends powerful beams of light this time from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and your crown chakra and fills your entire being. So as we always say, just as when you walk into a room and you switch on a light, that light dispels the darkness in the room. So in the same way, the minute that light from Guru Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, and that's all your attachment, unhealthy desire, wanting, grasping, anxiety, and then all your anger and depression, wanting to harm others, and grudges and jealousy and all this bitterness, this heavy, heavy stuff, instantly dispelled by this light as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sidam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified, gone. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and wisdom and compassion and kindness. So the final mantra is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. So you can imagine Guru Vajrasattva sending light and nectar, or you can imagine the previous 3 visualizations of the body, speech and mind, either simultaneously or consecutively, maybe for a couple of mantras each. It does get a little bit complicated though, so you can just imagine light and nectar pouring from Guru Vajrasattva's heart, and it enters you, and the minute and fills you, and kind of the minute maybe again the same as if it hits your heart, it completely eradicates the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. So now feel completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So the fourth step in the purification process is the determination to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind. So we make a resolve. We make a determination. We just decide, I'm going to work on something. Maybe it's your body, your speech. Maybe you continuously engage in negative self-talk. So just think that there's something that I'm going to try to start leaving behind me, something I'm going to refrain from, whether it's a minute, 5 seconds, 30 minutes, overnight while you're sleeping. This determination to try and refrain from doing things that harm us and harm others gives us great courage, and gradually you'll notice bit by bit, if you're patient and humble, you'll start to notice that these habits we have just start to drop away and you're not doing them so frequently, or they're losing their edge, or you have less desire to maybe gossip, you have less desire to talk about others in a way that's not positive. You have less desire to carry around this heavy burden of negative thoughts, negative self-talk. You just want to shed it, let it go. So Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us, and wanting to merge with your mind, he melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And Lama Yeshe used to call this union oneness. And so next, Lama Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness with 3 circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma, there is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So place your mind in that emptiness for a moment. So just think of all phenomena as being empty, not existing from their own side. You can also think that perhaps things are not being registered with you, are registered with you in a way that they probably don't exist. So the way they appear to you might be different to how they actually do exist. It's good for us to think about that every now and then. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created this evening doing this purification to all living beings. Think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. For Lamsa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honouring the three jewels, savour of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe-la, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. There we are. We're 3 minutes over because we started a couple of minutes late. I'm very sorry, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you tomorrow morning for our New Year's Eve meditation, some of you. I look forward to it.